Welcome to Unfiltered Wrestling, and we're talking about the December 2nd edition of Monday Night Raw. Let's talk about it. Alright, the show kicked off with Seth Rollins coming to the ring to a chorus of boos, which is to be expected from all of his douchebaggery online and now on television. And the internet's been divided on if he is actually a heel already or not. And no, he's not yet, but it is close. It's looming. And if he stays a face for more than a month now, he's toast. I'll actually give it that 2 weeks. Then it will be a disaster for his career. So please, for Christ's sake, turn that man. He came out and he apologized to Kevin Owens and said he had nothing to do with the Authors of Pain beating Kevin Owens' ass last week. Kevin Owens obviously comes out and does a bunch of PG-rated, not well-written lines about how he smells something. Do you smell that? It smells like the rodeo came in. It smells like something like a cow left behind. This type of jokes. Not good. Don't do that. Let Kevin Owens write his own shit, because trust me, there's no way in hell that man wrote that. And then afterwards he goes, just to get a cheap pop, the word I was talking about was bullshit. Crowd gets a nice semi-pop for cussing on air. No, you didn't just say bullshit on air. Yeah, the fuck out of here. Don't do that. Leave Kevin Owens alone. Let him write his own promos, please, for Christ's sake. I didn't like it, but Authors of Pain came out. It was intriguing because it's like, all right, is he about to beat Kevin Owens' ass? Is Seth going to side with him? And then, no, Authors of Pain challenged both of them to a match tonight. Rollins accepted. Kevin Owens declined because, unlike most people in wrestling, he actually was thinking ahead and thinking like a person would, and that is, it's a setup. I'm going to get my ass whooped. 3-on-1. You're going to turn on me. He declined, but then Seth fucking left. Authors of Pain let him walk right by to continue teasing what better fucking happen soon. Them joining up together. Kevin Owens in. Wants either one of them to fight, and I like how he said, I'll fight both of you. Preferably one at a time. See that's Kevin Owens thinking. Not that bullshit. It smells like some of the rodeo just came into town in Nashville. Yeah, fuck out of here. That's terrible. That was great. It was funny. And Authors of Pain walked off laughing at him. Kevin Owens then had an open challenge. And I already knew who it was going to be. I knew it was going to be Bobby Lashley. Because they had a Starrcade event this weekend in I think, Atlanta or Duluth or something. I think, whatever. It was in Georgia. And I heard Bobby Lashley had a match with Kevin Owens. So usually when they do that on house shows, you can expect that's a thing they're going to do soon. And yep, lo and behold, it was Lana. And Lana came out, and it took her forever. She had like a 45 seconds where she was just spinning her very attractive ass. And holy shit, she was I'll say, an inch and a half away from being topless. Like, it was fucking close. She had to be very careful how she moved in the dress she was wearing. Because still, it's a PG show. Be careful. Be careful there. And Rusev, you lucky bastard. But she and Kevin Owens just argued. It was kind of weird. I would have preferred her to talk shit, Kevin to interrupt, and her let him interrupt and say some like quirky things and some funny insults at her. But instead, it was just like arguing. You couldn't really get anything from either one. So it came off kind of shitty. But Samoa Joe on commentary was really good, though. He said, sounds just like Thanksgiving. I know, bad joke, but it landed with me. I liked it. And of course, then Bobby Lashley comes out. They have a match, but of course, it doesn't have an ending. Here come AOP now, and they interfere, and it's a disqualification. They fight Kevin Owens. I felt like a big kind of a waste of time to even do the Lashley match. Just have the Authors of Pain go out there and fight the guy and beat his ass. Why waste our time with Lashley and Lana's horse shit? Because it confused the crowd. While Kevin Owens is supposed to be the guy we're building as the biggest babyface on Raw, half the match you're chanting for Rusev Day. Which I understand why they would, because that's what Lana's whole gimmick is right now. She's there to get you to chant for Rusev. But with Kevin Owens in the ring, we should be chanting for Kevin. So, what the fuck? And then, other part of the match, they were chanting for Owens. Don't do that. Separate those segments. Separate them so everyone knows who the fuck we should be chanting for. Yeah, and of course, we all knew after that was over. Actually, they drug him off, just to add that in there. The Authors of Pain drug by the arms big old Kevin Owens up the ramp and into the back. Interesting. Very interesting. Then after that, Lana and Lashley were cutting a little promo, and obviously Rusev came out and fought Lashley. Big surprise, right? Ooh. Oh, I thought he had a restraining order. Fuck out of here, man. That's just stuff is dumb. Stop. Just stop. Stop. Fuck. Like, seriously. Like, and really, if Rusev attacks him with another... This is the second attack. He has a restraining order. He'd go to jail for quite some times. But we're going to see him in a week. We're going to see him damn sure at the next pay-per-view. But in reality, he'd be in trouble for quite some time. You can't go up and beat someone down who has a restraining order against you. That doesn't make any sense. Last thing on this segment. Lana and Lashley came out with 2 police officers. Come on. Come on. That's not how restraining orders work. It's not how they work. You don't have police escorts everywhere you go because you have a restraining order. Oh, Jesus Christ. And just to make things slightly dumber, Rusev, after beating up Lashley, he runs off into the crowd, and Lashley, rightfully so, goes to his police escorts, which again, I don't know why they're there, but still, if they're there, and they're real cops, and there's a restraining order, why'd you just stand there as he got his ass kicked by the guy who has a restraining order against him? A judge court-ordered that restraining order. By law, he's not allowed to be within however many feet or yards or whatever of Bobby Lashley. And then he, not only is within the feet, he attacks him. And you do nothing about it. And then when Lashley, he doesn't even touch the officers. He tells them, what were you doing? You had one job. He's not wrong. The cop tells him, and I'll just say this, thankfully, very thankfully, it was a black cop who did it, who said this instead of 2 white cops. It would have looked really poor for WWE. But the cop told Lashley, this is Tennessee, and in Tennessee, we do things differently. Yeah. Can you imagine that if it was 2 white cops on TV for WWE, how stupid that writing would look? That in the South, in Tennessee, we do things a little differently. We're going to arrest the black guy for doing nothing wrong. What the fuck was this? Whose idea was that? Lashley then got arrested for doing absolutely nothing wrong. He even asks one of the officers, what did I do? And the guy just repeats, you're under arrest. He has no idea what he did. He didn't do shit. He didn't do anything. Oh, goodness. And then Lana slaps one of them, and she gets arrested too. What the fuck? Hey, again, at least for image-wise, at least it wasn't 2 white officers arresting Bobby Lashley for doing nothing and using the line, well, in Tennessee, we do things a little differently. Fuck. Then we have Drew McIntyre versus Tozawa. Who do you think won that one? Yeah, Drew McIntyre squash match. A brutal Claymore out of nowhere, though. It was brutal. It damn near killed Tozawa. It was actually pretty fantastic. Match itself, who cares? Basically a squash. Not surprising. But then after the match, he calls out Randy Orton, which was kind of strange to me, because I thought we were doing an AJ Styles Randy Orton feud based on last week. But Drew McIntyre calls him out, and shows footage of why he's calling him out, and it's because basically last week Randy called himself taller and bigger than McIntyre and then pokes him in the eye. That's it. That's it. Have you not seen the other shit, demented shit Randy Orton has done to people throughout his career? He's kicked people's dads' heads clean off. He put his finger through the damn earlobe of Jeff Hardy. He put a screwdriver through there. But you're upset because he poked you in the eye. It's not even a DQ in a wrestling match anymore. The fuck? An eye rake's like a normal move back in the 90s. I don't know. But yeah, he called him out. AJ Styles then comes out, which I think made it even a little more strange. Because now I don't know who the hell's feuding with Randy Orton. Then Drew McIntyre leaves, saying he doesn't want any piece of this. Apologies. He doesn't want to be involved in this. And then Randy Orton started getting his ass kicked by the OC. And then basically every high flyer in the mid card comes out. Humberto, Ricochet, Rey Mysterio to save Randy Orton. What the fuck is going on with this Randy Orton thing? I mean, I get probably at TLC we're going to get a 5 or 6 man ladder match for the US title, something like that. But this is a really fucking weird way of getting to that. You know what I mean? It's weird. Why is anyone saving Randy Orton? He's Randy Orton. He's the Viper. You probably shouldn't be trying to be his friend. He's going to RKO you at any chance he gets. I know he's a kind of a face right now, but still. It doesn't make sense. Like, why? Yeah, it's weird. And then after the commercial break, they had a little backstage segment, and it shows Randy Orton saying basically the same thing I just said, where I appreciate your assistance, but it was unnecessary. I didn't need you. Yeah, it's Randy Orton. And you guys are just 3 random dudes. Like, what the fuck does Ricochet, Rey Mysterio, and Humberto have to do with Randy Orton? Fucking weird. Just weird. And then we had Aleister Black versus Tony Nese in a very who gives a shit styled match. Let's be serious, this was just to keep Aleister Black some momentum going, just so we know he's still in the goddamn company. He beats Tony Nese. Shocking. And then they go backstage. Buddy Murphy cuts a promo, just keeping the Buddy Murphy Aleister Black storyline going. That's how I feel about this. Nah. I would have preferred if they did Buddy Murphy versus Aleister Black first, and then Cesaro now. That would feel more like a step up, like a progression of Aleister Black's ascension. Instead, he already beat Cesaro. I'm assuming he's going to beat Buddy Murphy. Like, it's just naturally, you're going to just know that. Cesaro would have been, an actual bigger deal. But hey, it's going to be a great match. Buddy Murphy's a hell of a seller, so he's going to put Aleister Black over strong. Then after that, we got Andrade. Damn it, I wish they would have kept Cien Almas. I liked the full name, but whatever. Andrade versus Eric Young. We had a fucking wild Eric Young appearance. Like, what? It makes me sad to see Eric Young, to be honest with you. I'd rather just not see him. I'd rather him just be, frankly, in AEW. But if not in AEW, then just backstage, maybe as a trainer, producer, something like that. Because it's sad, man. It's sad. Without the beard, they're having him without the beard just so we don't see Eric Young, the leader of Sanity. Instead, we just see Eric Young, a wrestler who loses all the time, chasing for the 24/7 title. I don't know. It's sad to see him. Sanity had such potential. Gone. And this match, I will say, lasted longer than I thought it would. It did. He had a couple near falls. But in the end, obviously, Andrade wins. That's about it. Then came the actual 24/7 champion, R-Truth. And he came out and hid behind the celebrities who were hiding in the crowd. Or hiding, we're sitting in the crowd. The NASCAR people. I think Michael Waltrip? Might have been Daryl Waltrip. I think Michael Waltrip. And one of the Bush brothers. Kyle? I think Kyle. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know a lot about NASCAR, just from what I see on SportsCenter. But anyway, he hid like right in front of their seats as a crowd of 24/7 jobbers chased him and went by him. And when they left, this was kind of cool. Michael Waltrip and Kyle Busch like shook R-Truth's hand, like he was like, I guess, thanking them, and in a very weirdly sensual way, Michael Waltrip unzips his jacket very slowly, which we all know what he's doing it for. He's doing it because you clearly must have a referee shirt under there. We've seen this. This is all the 24/7 title is good for. But damn, he did it very in a kind of perverse way. But yeah, he took it off. Obviously, he's a ref. R-Truth, who's befuddled, and then gets rolled up by Kyle Busch. 1, 2, 3. Kyle Busch is the 24/7 champion. I'll take it. Next, we had Eric Rowan versus No Way Jose. And the first thing I noticed was, where the fuck are the hot chicks, No Way Jose? That was the one and only thing he's ever been good for since he debuted on NXT, was his conga line had chicks. There was a chunky one, I'm not interested. There's one that kind of looked like a nerd, not interested. And not like a hot nerd, just plain. What the hell is going on, No Way Jose? God damn it! You had one job. You were good for one thing. Now I want Eric Rowan to eat you alive, and of course he did. Not surprising. Some part of the conga line tried to look at Eric Rowan's cage and got their asses kicked, and then Eric kicked Jose's ass and did the claw slam. Nothing new. Nothing too exciting. I just hope this build to whatever the fuck is in that cage for Rowan isn't a massive letdown. But I'm expecting it to be a massive letdown. I just hope it isn't. But by God, if it's Hornswoggle, I'm gonna kill somebody. If it's Hornswoggle, it just seems such like a WWE thing to do. Let's just build something up and just have the big reveal to be Hornswoggle again, like usual. I'd rather it be Luke Harper's severed head than Hornswoggle. Just saying. And it would make more storyline sense. It's probably a snake. Let's be serious. It's probably a snake. Next up, we had Charlotte Flair in a handicap match versus the women's tag team champions, the Kabuki Warriors. Which I found odd. You couldn't get... Where was Carmella? Where was some female to team her Charlotte up with? Because it's odd. It was just odd. And the match went way too long for it being a handicap match between one woman. And I know it's Charlotte Flair, who's going to probably retire and be known as... They're building her up to be retired as the greatest of all time in women's wrestling. But still, Asuka and Kairi Sane, that's supposed to be... It's kind of a big deal. And they're the champs. I don't know. I think it lasted too long. Kabuki Warriors did win. It was a nice little ending, too. A nice little spot. Charlotte had Asuka in a figure 8. And you knew what's happening there. A damn insane elbow drop from Kairi. 1, 2, 3. They win. Cool, but odd. And way too long. I did like there was a sign I noticed that had a... Someone had a sign that was a chair with Charlotte's face on it. And it said Charlotte chair. I don't know why. Why would you spend your time just to make a sign of Charlotte chair? I respect that. I respect that. That's devotion. Oh, and the Kabuki Warriors had new music. And it's about fucking time. They've been doing that split up music thing for way too long. And I hate that. I hate it. So it was delightful. That's the best thing about the match. Their new music, and that man in Charlotte chair. After that, the Viking Raiders beat Jobbers for what? Who cares? It's been way too long. Who cares? I don't understand that. Just don't have them on the show. Like, fuck. They've beaten so many jobbers. We've seen this. We've seen it. I'm tired of it. Then we have the main event, which Ricochet, Humberto, and Rey Mysterio versus the OC. I don't like the mixed match heroes thing that they do. And WWE's done this for years now. I don't like it. It's like, why is Humberto, Rey, and Ricochet all of a sudden best friends? Tell me that. I don't know. Why they try to say Randy at the beginning? It just... For what? I just want to say for what and why a lot during this show. The match was okay. It wasn't amazing. It was alright for a Raw match. But for the main event of Raw with this talent, nah, subpar. Maybe average if you want to stretch. The big thing is, yeah, OC won. Thank fucking goodness. Because they need some wins. They've been losing a lot. Ever since AJ got back with the club, they've lost a lot. They've lost a hell of a lot. So they needed to win. They got it. Cool. I'm not a big fan of them consistently using AJ's Styles Clash from the second rope, though. They've done that a lot. I think the Styles Clash is a pretty protected move. Very few people ever kick out of it. Why do we need to go to the second rope on a Raw main event in a 6-man tag versus Ricochet, Humberto, and Rey Mysterio? Just do a Styles Clash and call it a night. Right? That's all I'm saying. I forgot before the match. Before the match, there's a little backstage promo with Ricochet saying next to Rey and Humberto, saying how his goal in this company is to prove that superheroes are real. Do they want us to hate Ricochet? Is that the goal? So we can boo him, so he can get death, and then eventually turn him heel? Is that the goal? Because I'm confused. I'm fucking, like, very confused. Because it doesn't make sense other ways. Like, otherwise. It makes no fucking sense. After the match, the highlight to close the show, Randy Orton appears, which they've been doing that really well with Randy. The camera works where you don't really see him until the last moment. Slides in the ring, RKO to AJ Styles. Clearly, that's still the plan. I just don't understand why they're throwing the Mysterio and Humberto and Ricochet in this. I guess just to give them something to fucking do. Who cares? I wish this show was built more around Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins in the Authors of Pain storyline. Because nothing else on this show mattered. Nothing else grew. Nothing else changed. Nothing else ended, started. Nothing else happened of any importance. This is a shame because last week's Raw was very good. Like, very close to perfect. I would have given that an A. This one, and this was probably a D. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Even the Rollins, AOP, Owens storyline didn't really move anywhere. Didn't really move anywhere. It's a shame. But on to SmackDown. Hopefully SmackDown can light the fire back under WWE and get us ready and get us a little excited at least. At least a little excited and start building to TLC because it's built nothing for TLC. And when I say on to SmackDown, I'm not skipping NXT and AEW. I'm just saying we know NXT is going to be good. And AEW didn't have a pay-per-view for a while to build towards, so it's kind of like a house show right now. Well, guys, let me know in the comment section below what you would have given this show. A through F, A plus being perfect, A being great, B being good, C being average, D being bad, F being an absolute catastrophe. This wasn't a catastrophe. It was just pretty bad. You could have skipped this. and been perfectly fine. 3 hours of your life would have been saved. That was my main problem. No one really got hurt in this episode. No characters got damaged. But nothing changed, moved. We just wasted 3 hours of all of our lives. That gives you a D. If you're still here, you are a real one.